I sent her $78,000. Every cent I had saved. I thought she loved me. She called me baby every single day, until the day she didn't, and I still don't know if any of it was real. I thought I'd die alone. That's not dramatic. That's just what I believed sitting in my house in Rhode Island on a Tuesday night in February. The heat was on, but the place felt cold. My daughters hadn't called in 3 weeks. My ex-wife remarried 2 years back. I had my pension, my little routine, my quiet life, and I was so damn tired of being invisible. I wasn't looking for anything when I joined that Facebook group. Retire in the Philippines. I'd seen the videos, warm beaches, cheap cost of living, friendly people. I told myself I was just curious, maybe planning something for later, but really I was scrolling at midnight because I couldn't sleep and I couldn't stand the silence anymore. That's when the friend request came through. Liezl. Her profile picture was her smiling in front of the ocean. Bright yellow sundress, dark hair pulled back. She looked young, but her eyes looked kind. I stared at that picture for a full minute. Then I clicked accept. Her first message was simple. Hi Po, how are you? I didn't know what Po meant back then. I found out later it's a sign of respect in Tagalog. She was being polite, sweet. I wrote back something awkward about the weather. She responded in 5 minutes. We talked for an hour that first night. Nothing deep, just small talk. But it felt good. It felt like someone cared that I existed. The next night she messaged me first. Good morning, Sir Nigel. I hope you slept well. I smiled at my phone like an idiot. We talked about our days. She told me she worked at a coffee shop in a mall in Tacloban. She said the customers were nice, but the hours were long. She asked about Rhode Island, about my life, about what I did before I retired. I told her I was an insurance adjuster for 32 years. She said that sounded important. No one had called my job important in 3 decades. By the 3rd day, she sent me a voice message. Her voice was soft, a little shy. Baby, good night. I hope you have sweet dreams. She called me baby. On day 3, I should have paused. I should have wondered why. But I didn't. Because it felt good. Because I wanted it to be real. So I told myself it was just how Filipinas talk. Cultural, affectionate, normal. We messaged every day after that, morning and night, sometimes in between. She'd send me pictures of her lunch, of the sky, of her smile. I'd send her pictures of snow, of my coffee, of my yard. She said she'd never seen snow in person. She said it looked magical. I said it's just cold and wet. She laughed in a voice note. I played it 3 times. 2 weeks in, she asked if we could video call. My heart actually sped up. I was nervous. 64 years old and nervous like a teenager. I set up my laptop, fixed my hair, wore a decent shirt. When the call connected and her face filled the screen, I forgot how to breathe. She was more beautiful than her pictures. She waved. Hi, baby. She called me baby again. I waved back like an idiot. She asked about my divorce. I told her it happened 8 years ago, that my ex said I worked too much, that I wasn't present, that by the time I tried to fix it, she was already gone. Liezl looked sad. She said I deserved better. She said any woman would be lucky to have me. I didn't believe her, but I wanted to. She told me about her life. Her mom, Nene Gloria, worked washing clothes for rich families. Her younger sister, Sophia, dropped out of college because they couldn't afford it. Her older brother, Ramon, couldn't find steady work. They lived in a small house in the province. 3 rooms, tin roof. She said it wasn't much, but it was home. I asked if she was close to her family. She nodded. Very close, Po. They are my life. I take care of them. She looked down when she said it, like she was ashamed. I told her that was beautiful. That family loyalty was rare. She smiled at me through the screen. You are so kind, Nigel. So understanding. Most men don't listen like you do. I felt 10 feet tall. We video called every night after that. Sometimes for an hour, sometimes for 3. She'd show me around her neighborhood, introduce me to her friends on the street, wave at neighbors. Everyone seemed to know her. Everyone smiled when they saw her. She was loved. I could see that, and somehow she was choosing to spend her time with me. One night she looked directly into the camera and said, "I think I'm falling for you." My chest tightened. I didn't know what to say. I wanted to say it back, but I was scared. Scared it was too fast. Scared I'd look desperate. So I just said, "I care about you too. A lot." She smiled. "That's enough for now, baby. We have time." But the thing is, we didn't have time. Not really. Because 3 days later, everything started to shift. She messaged me in the afternoon my time, morning hers. "Baby, I need to tell you something, but I'm so embarrassed." My stomach dropped. I thought she was going to end it. I thought she met someone else. Someone younger, closer, real. I typed back, "What is it?" She didn't respond for 10 minutes. When she finally did, she said, "My sister Sophia. She needs money for school. Her tuition is due and we don't have it. It's only $200, but we can't afford it. I'm so sorry to even mention this. I don't want you to think I'm using you. I just don't know what to do." $200. That's nothing. I had that in my wallet. I told her, "Don't be embarrassed. I want to help." She sent me a crying voice note. "Thank you, baby. Thank you so much. You are my angel." My angel. That's what she called me. I sent the money through Western Union that afternoon. She picked it up the next morning. She video called me crying, real tears. She showed me Sophia next to her. Sophia waved and said, "Thank you so much, sir. God bless you." I felt like a hero. A week later, Liezl messaged me, apologizing again. Sophia's phone broke. She needed it for school, for assignments. It was $80. I sent it. A few days after that, Nana Gloria needed medicine. High blood pressure, 150. I sent it. Then the roof started leaking. 800. I sent it. Each time, Liezl cried. Each time she said she'd pay me back. Each time she called me her angel, her savior, her baby. I told myself this was normal. I was helping someone I cared about, someone who needed me, someone who would do the same for me if the situation was reversed. I ignored the little voice in the back of my head that whispered, "This feels wrong." I ignored it because I didn't want to lose her. I didn't want to go back to being alone. 4 months in, I told her I wanted to visit. She lit up on the screen. "Really, baby? You want to come here?" "Yes," I said. "I want to meet you. I want to see your world." She clapped her hands like a child. "Okay, baby. Okay. I will plan everything. You will love it here. You will love the Philippines. You will love my family." I booked the flight that night. 2 weeks in Tacloban. I was terrified and thrilled and hopeful in a way I hadn't felt in years. When I landed at Tacloban Airport, I was sweating through my shirt. I walked out of the terminal scanning the crowd. Then I saw her. Yellow dress, just like in her first profile picture. She saw me and ran. Actually ran. She threw her arms around me and kissed my cheek and said, "Baby, you're here. You're really here." I held her and thought, this is real. This is happening. I'm not alone anymore. She took my hand and led me to a tricycle. It's like a motorcycle with a sidecar. We rode through the city and she pointed out everything. "That's where I work. That's my favorite store. That's where I buy mangoes." She was so excited, so proud to show me her home. I felt like I mattered. We went to her house that first day. It was small, smaller than I imagined. Wooden walls, concrete floor, a single fan in the living room. But it was clean, neat. Nana Gloria stood at the door. She was short, tired eyes, rough hands. She smiled when she saw me. "Welcome, sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you for helping my daughter." I shook her hand. She held it with both of hers. Sophia ran out next. She hugged me like I was family. "Thank you for everything, Kuya Nigel." Kuya means older brother. I was Kuya now. I was part of them. We spent 2 weeks together. We went to beaches, ate at local restaurants, walked through markets. She held my hand everywhere, kissed me in public, introduced me to everyone as her boyfriend. My boyfriend from America. I'd never felt so proud, so wanted. On our last night she cried, "I don't want you to leave, baby." I held her. "I know, but I'll come back, I promise." She looked up at me. "You promise?" I kissed her forehead. "I promise." Flying home hurt. I sat in my seat staring out the window, thinking about her smile, her laugh, her hand in mine. When I got back to Rhode Island, the house felt colder than before, emptier. I messaged her the second I walked in the door. "I miss you already." She replied instantly, "I miss you more, baby. When are you coming back?" I started sending money every week. Not because she asked, because I wanted to. 100 here, 200 there. I wanted to support her. I wanted her to know I was serious. That I wasn't just some guy who visited once and disappeared. I was in this. I was committed. Then Nene Gloria got sick. Liezl called me crying so hard I could barely understand her. My mom, baby. She collapsed. We took her to the hospital. They said she needs surgery. For her heart, it's $3,000. We don't have that. I don't know what to do. I felt my chest tighten. 3,000. That was more than I'd sent combined. But it was her mother. How could I say no? I told her I'd send it. She sobbed. "Thank you, baby. Thank you. I love you so much. You saved her life." I sent the money. She sent me pictures from the hospital. Nana Gloria in a bed, tubes in her arms. She looked weak, small. I felt good. I felt like I'd done something important, like I'd saved someone. A week later, the roof leaked again, this time worse. They needed a new section replaced. $800. I sent it. Then Sophia needed tuition again. $1,200. I sent it. Then the electricity bill was overdue. $300. I sent it. Then Nana Gloria needed more medicine. $200. I sent it. I started noticing things. Small things. Liezl's messages got shorter. Less sweet. She stopped sending me pictures of her day. Stopped asking about mine. Our video calls went from every night to 3 times a week. Then twice. Then once. When we did talk, she looked tired. Distracted. I asked her if everything was okay. She snapped at me. "I'm just busy, baby. Work is hard. My family needs me. You don't understand the stress I'm under." I apologized. I told her I was sorry. I told her I just missed her. She softened. "I miss you too. I'm just tired. I'm sorry." My friend Derek messaged me around that time. We'd never met in person. He was in an expat group I followed. British guy. Lived in Cebu for 6 years. He said, "Mate, I saw your posts about your girlfriend. Just be careful. I've seen this a lot out here." I felt defensive. "Seen what?" He said, "Just watch your money. Make sure it's going where she says it is. Some of these girls are good. Real good." I told him Liezl wasn't like that. He said, "All right, man. Just looking out for you." I deleted the message. I didn't want to think about it, but it sat in the back of my mind, festering. I started paying more attention. Liezl's excuses got thinner. Her requests got bigger. Her affection got colder. I wanted to ask her about it, but I was scared. Scared she'd get mad. Scared she'd leave. So I just kept sending money. Kept hoping things would go back to how they were. Then her brother Ramon needed a motorcycle. Liezl called me one night. "Baby, my brother. He got a job. A delivery job. But he needs a motorcycle to do it. It's $2,500. He'll pay you back. I promise." He swears he will. I stared at the screen. 2,500. My savings account was getting low. I hesitated. She saw it. "Baby, please. This is his chance. He can finally support the family. Help me and Mama. Please." I felt the guilt press down on my chest. I said, "Okay, I'll send it." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Thank you, baby. You're the best." I sent the money. Ramon never paid me back. I asked Liezl about it a month later. She got defensive. "He's going through a hard time, baby. He's trying. You understand, right? You said you cared about my family." I felt stupid. Small. I said, "Of course I understand. I'm sorry. She said, it's okay, baby. I know you love me. Our video calls dropped to once a week. She was always tired, always busy, always stressed. I asked if I could visit again. She said, not now, baby. It's not a good time. Work is crazy. Maybe in a few months. I started to feel it then, the cold truth creeping in. But I shoved it down. I told myself she was just stressed, just overwhelmed, that once things calmed down, we'd be okay. We'd be us again. I decided to surprise her. I didn't tell her I was coming. I just booked the flight. I thought maybe if I showed up, she'd see how much I cared, how committed I was. Maybe it would fix whatever was broken between us. I landed in Tacloban on a Thursday afternoon. I took a tricycle to the mall where she worked. I walked into the coffee shop looking for her. A young woman stood behind the counter. I didn't recognize her. I asked if Liezl was working today. She looked confused. Liezl? No, sir. She doesn't work here anymore. My stomach dropped. What? The woman nodded. She left like 3 months ago. I felt the air leave my lungs. Where did she go? The woman hesitated. I saw it in her face. The pity. She said, I think she moved to Manila, sir, with her boyfriend. Boyfriend. The word hit me like a truck. I stood there in the middle of that mall coffee shop, unable to move, unable to breathe. The woman asked if I was okay. I didn't answer. I just walked out. I sat in the food court for 2 hours, staring at my phone. I opened our messages, scrolled back through months of I love yous and baby co's and thank yous. I called her, straight to voicemail. I messaged her, read but no reply. I opened my banking app. I scrolled through the transfers. 200, 80, 3,000, 800, 1,200, 200, 300, 800, 2,500, on and on and on. I added it up in my head. $78,000. 78,000. I sat there doing the math over and over, hoping I was wrong. But I wasn't. Rent for a condo I'd never seen. Tuition for a sister who wasn't in school. Surgery for a mother who wasn't sick. Medicine that was never bought. A roof that was never fixed. A motorcycle that was never for work. All of it. Lies. I flew home the next day. I didn't tell anyone what happened. I sat in my house and I stared at the walls. I went through our messages again. Her voice notes. Baby, I miss you. Baby, I love you. Baby, thank you. I played them on repeat, trying to find the moment it became fake, trying to find the lie in her voice. But I couldn't. It all sounded real. Maybe it was real to her in those moments. Or maybe I just wanted it to be so badly I heard what I needed to hear. My daughter Sarah called me 3 weeks later. She'd seen a charge on my credit card. We shared an account from years back, one I forgot about. Dad, what is this? Why are you sending money to the Philippines? I didn't answer. Dad, I finally said I met someone. There was silence. Then she said, how much? I told her. She screamed. $78,000? Are you insane? Did she scam you? I said, I don't know. She said, oh my God, Dad, how could you be so stupid? Stupid. That word echoed in my head for weeks. Was I stupid? Maybe. Probably. But I wasn't just stupid. I was lonely. I was desperate. I was tired of being invisible. And she saw that. She saw exactly what I needed to hear, and she said it, over and over until I believed it. I didn't try to get the money back. I knew it was gone. I didn't contact her again. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I just let it go. What was I going to do? Fly back and demand it? Call the police? Hire a lawyer in a foreign country? For what? To prove I was taken advantage of? I already knew that. Everyone knew that. I started seeing a therapist. I didn't tell her everything at first, just that I'd been in a relationship that ended badly. She asked how badly. I told her. She didn't call me stupid. She called it financial abuse, emotional manipulation. She said people like Liezl are experts. They know what to say, how to make you feel needed, loved, important. She said it wasn't my fault. but it felt like my fault. It still feels like my fault. I joined a chess club at the community center. I go twice a week. I don't talk about Liezl. I don't talk about the Philippines. I just play chess and go home. It's quiet, simple, safe. Some nights I sit in my living room and I wonder if she ever thinks about me, if she feels guilty, if she even remembers my name. Probably not. I was just a number, a transaction, a means to an end. 6 months after I came home, I got a Facebook message request. I didn't open it right away. I stared at the notification for a full minute. Then I clicked it. It was her, Liezl. The message preview said, "Baby, I'm so sorry." I hovered my finger over it. I could open it, read whatever excuse she wrote, whatever new crisis she invented, whatever apology she crafted. But I didn't. I just deleted the request. I didn't block her. I just left her in limbo. The way she left me, I looked out my window at the snow falling on my lawn. It was February again. A full year since that first message. A full year since I thought I'd found something real. I didn't cry anymore. I was past that. I just sat there breathing, thinking. For the first time in months, I felt like myself, not the man I was before Liezl. That man is gone, but a new version, older, wiser, lonelier maybe. But mine, I thought about the man I was a year ago, scrolling Facebook at midnight, desperate for connection, willing to believe anything that felt like love. I don't blame him. I understand him. He needed to feel needed. She needed money. It was transactional from the start. I just didn't see the price tag. I don't hate her. I thought I would. I thought I'd be angry forever. But I'm not. I pity her. I pity anyone who has to lie and manipulate and use people to survive. I pity anyone who can look someone in the eyes and say I love you while planning how to bleed them dry. That's a lonely way to live. Maybe lonelier than mine. I lost $78,000. I lost a year of my life. I lost my dignity for a while. But I got something back. I got clarity. I got the ability to see the difference between being wanted and being used. I know now that love doesn't come with invoices, that affection doesn't cost money, that if someone truly cares about you, they don't drain you dry and disappear. I won't do this again. I won't fall for sweet words and pretty smiles and baby costs whispered through a screen. I won't hand over my savings to someone I've never touched. I won't mistake financial dependency for emotional connection. I learned my lesson. It was an expensive one, but I learned it. Some nights I still wonder what would have happened if I'd listened to Derek, if I'd questioned her earlier, if I'd said no even once. Would she have stayed? Would she have tried harder to convince me it was real? Or would she have just moved on to the next lonely man with a pension and a kind heart? I'll never know. And maybe that's okay. Maybe I don't need to know. Maybe all I need to know is that I survived it. I'm still here, still breathing, still moving forward. The house is still cold, the silence is still heavy, but I'm not desperate anymore. I'm not scrolling Facebook at midnight looking for someone to save me, because I don't need saving. I just needed to wake up. And I did. It cost me $78,000, but I woke up, I saw the truth, I walked away, and now I'm here, alone again, but not the same kind of alone. This is a different kind, the kind where you know yourself, where you know your worth, where you know you'd rather be lonely than used. I tell myself that on the hard days, the days when the silence feels too loud and the cold feels too deep. I tell myself I'm better off. I tell myself I learned something valuable. I tell myself it wasn't all for nothing. Most days I believe it, some days I don't, but I keep going, because that's what you do. You keep going. If I could talk to that man from a year ago, the one staring at Liezl's friend request, the one so desperate for warmth he'd accept it from anyone, I'd tell him don't click it. I'd tell him you're worth more than this. I'd tell him being alone is better than being used, but he wouldn't listen. I know he wouldn't, because he needed to learn it himself, the hard way, the expensive way, the way that breaks you just enough to rebuild you stronger. I'm not grateful it happened. I'm not one of those people who says everything happens for a reason. This didn't need to happen. I didn't need to lose everything to learn this lesson. But it did happen, and I did lose everything, and I did learn. So now all I can do is move forward, keep my head up, protect my heart, and trust that the right thing will come when I'm not desperately searching for it. I don't dream about the Philippines anymore. I don't watch those retirement videos. I don't scroll expat groups. I just live my life here in Rhode Island, with my cold winters and my silent house and my twice-weekly chess games. It's not much. It's not exciting, but it's real. It's mine, and no one can take it from me. That's enough. For now, that's enough.